What's up, Sam?
Hey there, Connor. How you doing?
Great.
Mr. Expert.
Excellent. Doing well. Just enjoying this beautiful summer night in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, as am I. I'm enjoying a beautiful summer night in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Hell yeah, Green Bay.
Center of American culture.
Precisely. I know that we have... Well, speaking of Green Bay, I know we were leading off with this final stuff, which is probably more noteworthy than this, but I just want to bring this up because I did not write this down on the outline because I forgot about it until right now. But an article came out recently. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You're going to talk about the Aaron Rodgers saying shit about, yeah.
Yeah.
Changing plays and stuff and not being able to not do that, or do that. I didn't read the article. I just heard about it.
Yeah, it was this article that painted this dispute between Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers with the offense, because Aaron Rodgers has been, kind of running these, I don't know what you even want to call it. He's running on a lot of improv, like running the offense kind of like ad hoc, because of the way that he is and the way that Mike McCarthy, I guess, tailored the offense to him. And so he's been kind of doing that for quite some time, and it's worked well for him because he's a really good quarterback. So now introducing Matt LaFleur, a disciple of the Shanahan coaching tree here. So he does not want to do that. It's definitely not what he did in Tennessee. Definitely not what he did in LA. So, I get it. But anyway, yeah, this whole article, it's and there were a lot of headlines about it and people talking about, oh, this is bad for Green Bay. This is bad. And it's
yeah, how did again, not knowing much about this, but how did he put it? But did he just say, hey, when I'm behind center, I want to have the ability to change plays as I see fit based on what the defense is showing? Is that it, or is there more to it, more context to it than that?
There really wasn't a whole lot else to it. It was just
that's what I thought. And if he's just stating that as a matter of fact, where's the problem here? We had the what that's been well documented, the the declining relationship between him and Mike McCarthy in the last regime, but he's right.
Right.
That you want your quarterback to be able to have that flexibility to, if you see something that, hey, they're bringing an all-out, blitz, let's not run it up the gut.
Right.
It's the whole point of it,
Right. Yeah. I understand, and to be honest, it's the way that it's portrayed, it's, I don't know, they probably don't have it figured out because they started training camp, I don't know when, not that long ago. So
not even training camp, just OTAs.
Yeah, sorry.
Not even to training camp.
Not even training camp, OTAs. So I don't know, there's probably quite a bit to still buff out here in all facets of the game, but especially the offense. Obviously going to be very new with Matt LaFleur coming in here. I don't know. It kind of seemed like a non-story, but obviously it's people want to find the drama. That's what sports journalism is all about, obviously.
Especially this time of year.
Yeah. Nothing's going on. Peak off season here. So, I don't know. It kind of seemed like you said, very matter of fact, Aaron Rodgers did a whole lot of improv, and Matt LaFleur does not do a whole lot of that in his offense. So now we need to strike a balance.
Well, and then also, Matt LaFleur, who has he had as quarterbacks? Nobody with near as much experience or pedigree as Aaron Rodgers. So
right.
it goes both ways.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. Everybody's like, this is the brewing of the storm. But I don't know.
It's the thing that when the article came out this past year that there was the rift between McCarthy and Rodgers, and now Rodgers, this is just a manifestation of that label that now Rodgers is a coach killer. or it's
Yeah.
difficult to coach. That just that label is now applied, and then anything that can be, you get a headline that comes out like that, and it's, everybody just jumps to that conclusion, which I don't know. Maybe it's true. Who knows? Who gives a shit? Doesn't matter yet.
Right, exactly. Season hasn't started.
Off season really. Well, never mind.
Yeah.
Off season this is the off season.
Anyway, so just want to get that off the ground here. I just want to get that out of the way. So anyway, the NBA, the finals.
Yeah, boy. So we took a hell of a week to picked a hell of a week to have an off. Go 2 weeks between tapings here.
Yeah.
Boy, a lot of things happened in basketball, and I don't know how much of the finals did you watch?
So I watched
Watch any of it?
Yeah, I watched quite a bit of it actually. I watched game 1 and 2. I watched I think I missed game 3. And then I watched game 5, I believe. And then I caught the last. We got fucking stuck in traffic on the way back in from Savannah, going back to our rental property. So I only caught the second half of game 6.
Okay. I think I watched all of 5, 6, and then maybe game 1, and then one of the middle ones too.
Okay.
And that's about as much basketball as I've watched all year, other than like $2.5 games. But
yeah,
it was quite something. I think, like a lot of people, I was waiting for the Warriors. After game 1 they lost, and they won game 2, and I figured when they went back to Oakland, I don't know if we talked about this at all, but I thought it was only like, well, they're just gonna turn it on and they're just gonna, go vintage Warriors and just pour in some threes and score 150 points one of the games and they'll be fine. And then it just never happened that way.
right.
So,
Just go banana ham sandwich on them.
Right, and product obviously the Raptors, defensively what they're doing is pretty interesting. Again, I don't watch a ton of NBA basketball, but I had never even heard of a box and one, and that's all I heard like every game. Like at half the time, the Raptors are playing this box and one defense, which, boy, sure seemed like it worked with the lineup that the Warriors had on the floor quite a bit. Basically not letting Steph Curry beat you, out deep.
Right. Yeah, and that made sense because of the Warriors' personnel that they had left kind of towards the end of the series here, and even going into the series with Kevin Durant not being out there, and then when he did play the 10 minutes that he did, he ruptured his Achilles. So really it was like you had to worry about Steph, yeah, and then Clay for a minute, and then
Clay was the best player in that whole series for the Warriors. I mean, he was better than Steph. At least in terms of making shots, and he's a better defender.
Yeah, man, his defense
piece.
His defense was definitely missed when he was out. Warriors defense took a noticeable step back when Clay was out. Yeah, not only from an offensive standpoint, but their defense. You saw people. I mean, I think it was interesting to watch because Kawhi was also playing kind of injured. He injured himself in the Bucks series, I think. And he was noticeably slower for a few of those games and had to rely on a few of his other pieces to generate points. But you could see after he was injured, people like Pascal Siakam, it was like, oh no, people they're getting through now. They're starting to penetrate a little bit more effectively without people like Clay out there. Can't really rely on, I don't know, what do you do when you put somebody like Marc Gasol out there and Pascal Siakam? I don't think they have the personnel to match up.
Yeah, and then you have throwing Andy Van Fleet, wet from 3. Not Andy Van Fleet, Fred Van Fleet.
Lol.
Andy Van Fleet played for the Badgers. He was that very tall guy from Belgium.
Yep. Doesn't play there anymore. Nope.
Yeah, but Kawhi being injured, I guess I didn't know he was injured because I watch a lot of Raptors basketball. I believe it though. It was interesting just watching a couple games that he'd have, I don't know, 25 points or something. It'd be the quietest 25 or however many points he would score in any given game. It'd be very quiet. At no point it was like, man, Kawhi's out there just killing him, except for those like there's a couple minutes towards the end of game 5 when he like scored 10 or 12 points in a row.
All the infamous Nick Nurse timeout.
Game they lost, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, the chunk of it I watched, it was like, yeah, Kawhi's a guy, but they had all the having all the role players, just whether it was Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, whether Marc Gasol was wet. I think that was game 1. Yeah, Kyle Lowry. Game 6, Kyle Lowry. What did he score like the first 11 points? Ended up with like almost triple double, I think. So,
honestly, it reminded me a lot of like the Bucks, where they were running these guys out there, and so Kawhi, the way that I thought about it was, and what I thought was what they exploited, I think, the Raptors against the Bucks, was that when like Kawhi compared to Giannis, when Giannis wasn't generating that like foundational floor for the team, which Kawhi, like you were saying, he wasn't necessarily going off every single game, but yeah, he was providing the team with like 20-some points pretty consistently. And there were definitely a few games in that Bucks series where Giannis just shit the bed, and when the Bucks didn't have that, it really felt like the rest of the team fell apart. So the Raptors, conversely, were able to maintain that consistency. Rather, Kawhi was able to maintain that consistency, keep that floor where it was, and allow more opportunities for other guys to kind of go off. And that's kind of where I thought the Bucks were succeeding against people like the Celtics, against the Pistons. Like, that was kind of what was happening with them, I felt, offensively, that they were maintaining this like nice rotation of people that decided that they were going to have a good game. All right, this game's going to be the Brook Lopez game, or this game's going to be the Chris Middleton
when
game.
When your superstar guy
Malcolm
has
Brogdon
his
game.
Off night, you're still as a team better. And then, I mean, that's what it really felt like. Yeah, I 100% agree that Kawhi was 100%, but as overall the depth there, and this is very true. I mean, the guys on ESPN calling the game were very, very open or very upfront about it. That like, hey, this team, the Warriors, they got they're top of the line talent. Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, as good as it gets. Their bench, once you get 7-8 players deep is suspect. It's not championship caliber.
Yeah.
So I don't. It was pretty entertaining. Boy, the Kevin Durant injury was awful. So
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's really like the way that it was built. Like, that's how the team was made. They had all these superstars in the starting lineup, and then after that, they very quickly went. They got some players.
Went from the Warriors being this team that they're just going to roll through the finals to the 2015 Cavaliers, where it's Steph and guys, LeBron and Delly.
Yeah,
Delly was the second best player on that team, and at the end.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's like with the injuries that occurred to Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson, I mean, the Warriors should have still been able to do something, honestly. Like, Steph Curry, it came down to, like, DeMarcus Cousins, man.
Yeah, DeMarcus Cousins, I don't know, he was a defensive liability, but he was productive on offense. And at the end of that game 6, I mean, Steph Curry had a decent look at winning that game. All said and done.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know, like, there are some people, like you have on here in the outline, people asking about an asterisk next to the championship due to these notable people going down with these terrible injuries, but I don't know, man. Like, that lineup still with Steph Curry, DeMarcus Cousins, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, and then
Quinn
pick your poison after that.
That Rebko guy, or Kavan busted.
Sean Livingston,
Looney. Iron Man Looney.
Right. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that's still a fine lineup. Like, it's not. It's obviously not what you ideally want.
If that's your regular season game 1 starting lineup, you're probably making the playoffs still. Probably you're not going to win finals. I wouldn't think. I wouldn't.
And they didn't.
Probably they came close.
But
ish.
Yeah, I don't know. That's still a bunch of people, man, that you should be able to make something happen with. But it fell apart. So I don't know. You do what you do. I agree with you though that this whole depth thing. It's that's a part of the game, man. I don't know. It's the way that is with every sport. If your guys get injured, they get injured, and that sucks. But that's why you have a backup, whatever. That's why in football you got a backup quarterback, you got a backup, running back. You got backups to do stuff. That's why the teams win. If you got these shit people behind you, I don't know. It's a gamble. You take the risk.
Classic example, the Packers, their 2010 Super Bowl. I mean, they had 25 people on IR that year. Still won it. Still got it done. Conversely, no one was going to give the Patriots an asterisk if they'd beaten the Eagles 2 years ago with Nick Foles. I mean, football's a bit of a different animal, but I don't know. You don't need to put an asterisk next to it.
No. I mean,
no one put an asterisk next to the Warriors after they beat the Cavs in 2015 with LeBron and friends.
Right. LeBron and
Delly and Tristan Thompson.
The rest of the YMCA
Mike
rec
Miller
league
was on that team still playing.
Dude, fucking what's his name? They got Richard Jefferson. 40-year-old Richard Jefferson.
All right, I gotta look up who else is on that team. 2015 Cleveland Cavaliers roster. Lost in, let's see, Channing Frye. James Jones, that's who I'm thinking of. 3-point shooter. He's a Miami guy with
Kendrick Perkins.
Christ, Mo Williams, J.R. Smith, Amon Shumpert. Timothy Mozgov. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Woof. So Kevin Love, good, but he was injured. Kyrie Irving, good, but injured.
Anderson Varejao.
Oof. Yeah, man. If there's guys that I've been playing a bunch of NBA Live 2005, and man, if there's names that are on that game that are still playing other than LeBron and other than LeBron, that's just woof.
Yeah.
That's a woof.
Yeah. Kyle Korver's on there, right?
But again, if Kyle Korver is you don't want him in your starting five. He's a guy. Hey man, you can shoot threes.
Yeah. Hey man, we need you to come off the bench and just
stand in the corner,
kind of wet for a little while.
That's what he is in that game in 2004.
Yeah. Hasn't changed a bit. That's why he's ageless.
Does one thing. No more, no less.
I think I watched a YouTube video of Kyle Korver dunks, and he has one a year.
Just he just happened to be out running
so it was
on the break and just happened to be behind everybody.
Yeah, it's seriously a dunk every year, a couple of years. So it's it was really funny because it's just one clip of him dunking, and then the next year it's him in a different jersey. Anyway, Raptors win, so it was pretty cool to watch a team that hadn't won a championship before win. But shortly thereafter, I mean, things really heated up pretty quickly after the finals ended here. Bunch of newsworthy stuff. I think probably the most notable one is the Anthony Davis trade. Ooh. Here we go.
Sent to the Lakers.
Here we go.
For who was it? Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram,
Josh Hart,
and then
Brandon Ingram.
8 picks. So every first round pick for the next 6 years or something crazy.
Notably, the number 4 pick?
Tomorrow's night's draft, number 4 pick. The yeah, I don't know, bunch of other conditional ones or things that I don't fully understand. But I just saw, I think I saw something the other day. It was pretty funny that there's a kid in 9th grade right now who's going to be eventually one day part of this trade. It's like 15-year-old or 14 or 15-year-old that's eventually going to be part of the AD trade.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting because I mean, you the Lakers need to do this because this is the play for Mr. James, who's aging
like a
noticeably.
fine wine, like a fine bottle of sheesh.
Yeah, sheesh. Like you only have a set number of years here where you can have LeBron James possibly balling out on your team. So you need to give him some guys to work with. Anthony Davis definitely is a guy to work with. I guess the big question mark here now, I mean, there's a lot of question marks here, but like the big one is when this deal is technically going to get done, because there's the whole July 6th and July 31st are these dates. With the trade moratorium, which will alter how much cap space the Lakers ultimately have, as well as this trade bonus that Anthony Davis is. They're trying to get him to waive it. It's $4 million so that they can open up enough cap space to sign another max player on the roster, which would allow for the Lakers to sign another dude like Kyrie Irving or Kemba Walker they're talking about. There were some some pointless articles saying Kawhi Leonard, but no. So I mean, people like Kemba Walker and I guess Kyrie Irving would be pretty interesting to have. Or they were, talking about if Kyrie goes to Brooklyn, the Nets would probably let go of D'Angelo Russell, and I think that would be my
have him
favorite
go back
one.
To the Lakers. Just snitch ass.
Yeah. Right. This would be hilarious. So, yeah, I think that, they're trying to do it, but who's to say what'll happen exactly? Obviously, Anthony Davis doesn't necessarily want to cut his pay just to, I don't know what he wants to do here, but if this doesn't happen, then all of a sudden the Lakers have to sign some, I don't want to say mid-tiered guys, but definitely not max players because they can't.
Yeah, and then we end up in the situation that we just were talking about with LeBron before, where it's going to be LeBron and AD, and then guys, or like
right,
what the Warriors bench is. So,
yeah, I don't know who you sign. Who do you? They were talking about Patrick Beverley.
Doesn't really move the needle for me.
All right.
And you get oh gosh, can you get Matt Barnes to come out of retirement, or Melo is still out there.
So, yeah, Melo. Al Horford now wants to cut ties with the Celtics.
Yeah. He's older, but good. I don't know. Sure.
Yep. I don't know. Probably can't get him. I don't think he declined a $30 million option with the Celtics.
That's a lot of money.
I don't think they have the cap space.
Well, anyways, on the flip side, for the Pelicans, this is highway robbery. You couldn't have asked this return. I don't think you could have gotten a better return for this. Plus, also you're sitting on the number 1 overall pick tomorrow night. So
yeah, which is expected to be Zion. So I think people were saying maybe him and that Culver guy from Texas Tech.
They could also very easily take that 4th pick and flip it, and trade for somebody. And all of a sudden, plus with Lonzo and, who'd I say? Brandon Ingram? Is that who they got? Okay.
Yeah, it was Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart. They still have Drew Holiday on the team. Zion then. Yeah, man. I mean, they have a pretty decent looking squad on paper, at least, as well as a bunch of assets to sort of start this rebuild process that they've committed
I don't even know how
themselves
much of a
to.
rebuild it is, let alone just they got rid of one really good player for one
Reset.
great player for a bunch of good players and picks.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It practically was highway robbery. I mean, they had all the leverage in trying to get this deal done, so it makes sense. But they fell into a perfect situation, and honestly, I'm surprised that it worked with... Oh, do you have this on here? Yeah, you do. After the deal fell through in the middle of the season, that this was even going to happen.
Yeah. Yep. I did make note of that. Yeah, I thought this was dead. I thought he for sure was going to Boston. Because Boston has a bunch of picks, but
Yeah.
Lakers also have picks forever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens on both sides of the coin here. New Orleans trying to start over here with the brand new star Zion Williamson. We'll see what happens there and what happens on the Lakers front here. If they're able to sign another max player, or if they're gonna have the meme team rolling again. I don't know. But that's basketball. That's basketball talk for you.
With basketball, so Lonzo got traded, and immediately after getting traded, LeVar Ball must have been up from whatever in silence, or he must have broke whatever silence spell that LeBron cast on him, and immediately came out and called it the worst trade, or the Lakers will never win another championship. So I don't know. LeBron must have said something or done something to get him to shut the hell up for the last year or so. But now he's back. LeVar Ball's back.
Yep. Like, here he is, coming out of the woodwork. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad he's back, man. His takes were hilarious. That was it part of my take? Or not part of my take, I'm sorry. Was it First Take that he was on?
Oh, wait, recently or
No, way back when we were...
Oh, yeah, when he was talking to Stephen A. and they were... It was electric.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was probably the only time I've had fun watching that show, was having him on
the
there.
best First Take segment ever.
Yeah, like, man, this dude that's just like out trolling these fucking bridge trolls.
Oh, I could beat LeBron one-on-one. No, you can't. Yes, I can. I'm bigger than him. He's too small.
He's too small. He's smiling the whole time. Oh, man. I love it. But, yeah, you're right. Ball curse. Lakers aren't going to win again.
Yep. Oh, yeah, since we're talking curses, the Drake curse is now up, too, with the Raptors winning.
Yep.
Drake curse is no more, so...
Thank you, Drake. Yeah, I don't know. That was enough Drake. I met my quota of Drake for the year. I think everybody did. He was definitely the villain, just by default.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You do what you do, but yeah, man, not mad about that. Just seeing a little bit less of him.
So that's fine. So goodbye. Thank you for your service, Drake. That's basketball.
That's basketball, baby. Anyway, I didn't watch any golf here, so this is all you.
Well, yeah, we had the U.S. Open this past weekend at Pebble Beach, and I don't know. I liked it I liked it a lot because on Thursday and Friday during the first two rounds, since it's on the West Coast, there was golf on until like 8 o'clock at night. So that's kind of cool. Usually those first two rounds at like any East Coast or Eastern time zone course, all those first and second rounds are done by 5 o'clock, and you don't get to watch any of it Thursday, Friday. So that's really it. It was cool that it was on later.
Hell yeah.
Also, they're getting a lot more. I've noticed this in the last like I think just this year, and they might have been doing this for longer, but they're getting a lot more. I don't know where they have mics, if they have actually like the players mic'd up at all, or they just have mics on the course somewhere. But you're getting they give you a lot more audio between shots by the players, especially notably Jordan Spieth, who just like shit talks himself the whole time, like, oh god damn it, he's getting really mad. Or like he hit a ball too far, and he got like pissed at his caddy for telling him to hit the wrong ball or use the wrong club or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. That was fun. Also, all the stuff they're doing now with like the ball tracing when they're like hitting off the tee, and you can just say like, oh, that's where the ball's going. And then same thing on the greens when they're putting. It's like, oh, if you hit it fast and if you hit it slow, there's the two different kind of lines to make it.
Yeah,
cool stuff. I don't know. Joe Buck was on there. Oh, did you see the Joe Buck interview the other day on Pardon My Take?
Yeah,
I like Joe Buck. He's very self-aware.
Yeah, people hate him a lot because of his TV personality, but he seems he seems pretty down to earth and understanding of people's opinion of him, and I don't know. I don't think he takes his persona very seriously.
No. Also, it's just really funny to hear him swear.
Oh yeah, you're talking about. Do you like it when there's a course that's really difficult? Nah, I see plenty of shitty golf already.
Yeah, I don't really fucking care.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty relaxed dude.
Yeah, Gary Woodland won the thing. Brooks Koepka almost won 3 in a row. That's cool.
Didn't. Brooks Koepka hasn't drank a hot drink. That was news. That was a news story.
Well, I mean, he's from Florida. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Right.
Oh, speaking of hot drinks, man. So this weekend we had Father's Day. And we host Father's Day at my parents' house. And so usually after we eat, our late lunch, early dinner, whatever you call it, at like 2 in the afternoon. Usually like my parents, like none of us drink coffee, but like a bunch of my aunts and uncles do, my grandparents. So they'll be like, oh, do you want to? So everyone will have like a cup of coffee after they eat, middle of the afternoon.
Yep.
Whatever. So we don't. So like I said, we don't drink coffee. So like we have like a coffee pot and then like these Folgers crystals from like the late 90s. So we're like, well, is this any good? Can we even like serve this to people? So we made like a test batch and like made like a half a pot.
Yeah.
It's closer to a full pot. And I was like, I tried some. My sister had some. I was like, it tastes fine. It's coffee, whatever. And I was like, well, what do we do with the rest of this pot here? And I'm like, oh, we're just going to dump it out? I'm like, I'll drink it.
You did?
I ended up drinking. Yeah, I ended up drinking. And I was like, oh, this is more coffee than I thought it was. And I was buzzing pretty good. And I was like, holy shit. This ended up being like 3.5 cups. And I never drink coffee, so it was pretty wild. Like how I definitely had a buzz going from it for a little bit, and then this is at like probably 12:30 that I'm drinking all this, and I was like, I don't know if this is the reason why, but man, I didn't fall asleep till like 1:30 that night.
Oh shit! Did it really affect? You didn't crash at all from that caffeine high?
Not really.
Huh?
So I didn't notice it.
Wow.
So I was buzzing pretty good.
Nice.
So I've never had that much coffee in one time in my entire life, I don't think. But now I know.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you don't drink coffee. I drink coffee probably every single day, but I can't drink more than like a cup. That's it. If it goes over, like if there's, even when I'm like real tired, like I wake up and it's like, man, I didn't sleep well at all. Like exceeding that 1 cup quota, it's like, we're in for we're on the pain train. Like I don't know.
What do you mean? What happens?
I don't really get I don't get a good feeling when I drink too much coffee. Like it just, my brain registers it as too much coffee, and it feels like my brain is trying to run at like 100 miles per hour, but my body is still just physically exhausted. So it's this like conflicting, like I feel like my neurons are fighting each other inside my body, and they're like, you're tired. No, you're not. You're tired. No, you're not. And like, I think that I just feel very jittery, but also tired at the same time. And as a result, I just feel like I get like nauseous and
So it's like, well, great. Now I just feel kind of terrible as well as tired.
Yeah, I didn't realize coffee was like if you have that much coffee that like it really gets to you, and now I know.
Oh, yeah. Surprise, motherfucker. Welcome to Coffee World, bitch.
I understand now. Which makes me now I'm curious, like, man, if that's what coffee is, what does cocaine do to you?
It's this, but fun.
Yeah, like, holy shit. Yeah, well, I guess I'll never know. Well, anyways, we got drum corps starting up. That's a thing that's competitive and cool. I feel like band.
Yeah.
So that's starting up, like, I think, tomorrow. Who do you think's gonna win? I'm gonna say Blue Devils are gonna win
They're probably due for a championship.
because they didn't win last year, so they'll probably win this year.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, didn't win last year, so they're probably
due for one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know who's gonna win. To be honest with you, like I've just lost touch with I haven't totally lost touch with the drum corps world, but like I feel myself getting a little bit more further away with every passing year.
I'm definitely not in tune as much as I used to be. Like a few years ago, it'd be like, oh, this person, oh, there's a staff change here, oh, this, mostly just with the drum staff, but
yeah, like keeping track of who was going where in terms of personnel, who I mean was like rising and falling in the rankings. I mean, really, like it's been kind of wild to watch some of these like trajectories, like Madison finishing like 5th in drums, like in 2013, and then not making the finals last year.
Yeah,
like, woof. Like,
didn't realize that was going to be the peak of that was the top of the mountain in 13.
Right. So yeah, and I mean, like the whole drum corps activity is sort of moving in a WGI direction where there's many more theatrical elements, and the uniforms themselves are transforming more into costumes than uniforms per se. It's not like a bad thing. It's just kind of like the way that the activity is moving. It's moving towards this like more like this stronger focus on, I guess, like a central moral or narrative, the way that a WGI production sort of is. I get it. And it had been that way for a minute because of people like the Blue Devils doing that in their shows and winning championships for it. So I understand. But at the same time, it's like, it's kind of crazy just how fast it moved. Like it feels weird to talk about.
2 years.
Yeah.
Like 3 years ago, it was like there was one or two groups that were, kind of really going full send with the embracing the indoor aspects of show design and the artistry behind it. But now it's completely done a 180, or it's completely flipped, and people using their old kind of military inspired uniforms are the outliers now.
Right. I mean, just back in 2013, the Madison Scout show that we were just talking about was like a complete like homage to the drum corps, like traditional elements of it. Like I think they came on from the end zone in a straight line like they used to and everything, because it was like 80 years of Brotherhood or something was the fucking show.
75 or 100,
something like that.
Multiple of 5.
Yeah, it was a noteworthy date, and like that was their whole fucking show. It was like company fronts and all this other bullshit, not bullshit, but like traditional elements of drum corps.
No synths or whatever. Maybe they had a synth. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway,
not a ton of experimental or progressive things in the front ensemble, which is great.
Right. And so last year when I went to a show, it was like, holy shit, man, this activity is totally different. And so that was 5 years separated, I guess, from 2013, which is still like a decent chunk of time. It's not like no time at all, but at 5 years, it's like, man, this whole thing is totally different. And so
Well, yeah, compare that to so you go compare '08 to 13. I don't feel like it's different, but it's not that much different than in the last 5 years.
right.
It just seems like things are evolving at a exponential rate here in the last little bit.
Yeah, so so we're kind of talking about it like it's a negative thing, but it's definitely not. I mean, there's parts of it that I really enjoy and parts of it that I just have to learn to enjoy.
Yeah, it's different. It's not necessarily a bad thing because we're tiptoeing around being the crusty people online now.
I know, right? I mean, that's the whole thing.
We'll get there in a few years, but for now we can stay like, oh, this is we can. It's the it's the meme with the dog in the burning room. This is fine. Eventually we'll catch on fire and die, but
yes,
not yet.
we haven't quite reached that point. Still in our 20s here, so
Yeah.
shouldn't be crusty and old quite yet. But
No, but one of the things so the progression isn't just visually and in show design. It's also in the notes.
yeah,
Like watching some of these early season videos of Boston and notably Crown, those two in particular. Woof! They're playing the batteries. They're playing a lot of notes.
I mean, I really think that's a product of like how much WGI has evolved in the last decade. Like WGI, now it's like a completely like intertwined element with drum corps, and you could say the same with drum corps to WGI. Like they're just facets, like different. They're run by the same people that run these drum corps, so it's like they technically have some of these kids like year round playing at this world class level for 12 months out of the fucking year practically, running with the same caption head who runs whatever fucking ensemble. So like I think like John Mapes, he's the one that does Pulse, and then he's running I think Blue Stars.
Sounds right.
I think that's what he's doing. So I remember when
Same thing. You had Roger Carter doing Broken City and Blue Coast.
Right, exactly. So like you have people doing both these things, and just staying with these people year round. I remember when I first heard about that, I think I heard about it with John Mapes and doing it with Blue Stars and Pulse. And then it was like, Roger Carter is doing this with Broken City, and the Bluecoats, or the Sparling Man is doing that with,
Still with Infinity.
I think so. And then he was with Madison. Now
I don't think he
now
is
he's
anymore.
with Phantom now. Found that out the other day.
Neat.
So it's like, yeah, you're right. The notes that they're playing are just insane, and they're playing them at an extremely high proficient like performance level, and the season hasn't even fucking started. And it's, a product, I think, in my opinion, of this year-round cycle now that people have kind of made extremely efficient, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, because it used to be. This is my perception of it. I guess this is a lot based on the background I came up with, where doing Summer Band, which was basically baby drum corps, mini drum corps.
Yeah.
An abbreviated summer tour. Our high school I didn't go to. We didn't have a fall marching band or anything, but that was the main thing. Like drum corps, that's the main focus point for the activity. Where at least for battery now, like over the last decade or so, WGI has grown in popularity quite a bit. Or at least it seems like it. Those two are like drum corps and WGI are almost like on equal planes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which it certainly didn't feel like that way, not but 6-7 years ago.
Right.
Where indoor was just something to do in the off season. Where now it's as much of a focal point as playing outside.
Yeah, you have people that just focus on WGI. Like this is what I do WGI. And drum corps is that's kind of what I was saying a little bit earlier, where it's kind of like you could even say it's vice versa, where drum corps is like the off season to WGI. Like,
Well, I'm not to that point yet, but I
no, I'm not.
easily
I'm
imagine
not
how it would
saying
be for some
that.
people.
I'm not saying it's the general perception, but like for some people who,
Oh, sure.
who do that kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, like
Sure.
my main ensemble, or quote unquote, is like whatever this ensemble is, Pulse, or Broken City, whatever. I just do drum band in the summer to keep myself at this high level.
I dabble in. I'll dabble with Blue Stars, I guess.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I don't know. It is pretty crazy to watch, and it's, I mean, insane to watch this activity explode into what it is. I remember I was reading a thread the other day about it on Reddit, and it was like, I mean, something that we're not really talking about is like the absolutely inflated cost of participating in drum corps. Do you know how much it is for Boston Crusaders this year?
No, how much is it?
I think it's $5,000.
5,000. I'm trying to remember because when I auditioned, we auditioned for Colts in 13, and I went to Scouts camp that year too. I have my binder right in front of me. I don't remember what it was back then. It doesn't seem terribly, that much different. Let me just flip through here. But it's a lot still, nonetheless, either way.
Yeah.
Do you know how does that compare to indoor?
Well,
I imagine it's quite a bit less because that's not all day every day. That's just kind of on the weekends.
yeah. It's so $5,150 is the official number for Boston Crusaders, and I know that's a little bit on the higher side. I believe that's a little bit higher. So on the other side of the coin, we'll say Pulse Percussion. We'll use them because they're in California. So Boston and California, yeah,
Basically the same.
kind of, yeah. What is it? How much are the fees? Fish in 2018 is between $1,900 and $2,100. I'm not sure what the difference is there, why it's variable, but
I don't know. They do different. Like they'll do different different rates for if you're returning members.
oh yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I mean roughly a little less than half of $5,000 there.
Which again, that's only weekends though that they're rehearsing and doing stuff. I think.
Right, they're not busting you around and feeding you every single day for a summer.
Housing you every minute of every day.
Right. So yeah, I mean I understand what the the difference there and why that is, but yeah, I mean it's kind of crazy to think about the people that do this cyclical WGI, DCI dealio where it's like, and especially people that do it for more than one season, where it's like, so that right there, I mean doing one season of Pulse in Boston for whatever reason that you would do that on opposite sides of the country, I mean that's $7,000 in technically one calendar year.
Well, that's where like people, Kylo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my sister went to, well, I don't know how much older he is than me, and then my sister's 2 years younger than me, but they're like started school at Whitewater at the same time. Because he didn't go to, after he was done with high school, I guess he worked and then did drum corps. And now is after the fact, after he aged out of drum corps, and then went back to school and did all that. So yeah, it's a different way of life than doing a different way to do it than a regular education after college or after high school.
Right. It like totally depends on exactly what your goals are and what you want to spend your time doing.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, I mean, it's,
Drum corps is sick, but I don't think it's that sick that I would have done that.
yeah, I mean, it's certainly like really interesting to look at people that do stuff like that, because it's like, yeah, it's a completely different way of life. Like it's frequently people can't afford to keep up with, I mean, just not even like cost associated whatsoever, just the time constraint of having to do something like that and maintain like doing undergrad mean, it's super time intensive. So, like having to bus out to, or drive out or to take a flight out to wherever for the weekends to do WGI, and then like your summers, you can't really do like internships or anything because you're doing drum corps. I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow, I guess, if that's what you're looking to do, or I guess depending on your goals, it's not, but certainly, like, yeah, I don't know, but that's drum corps, baby.
Booyah.
Cool.
So Crown's gonna be good. They'll probably come in like 4th.
Yeah. That's another thing about these rankings, man. They just like for a while it felt like it was like, yeah, that core will come in, 8th, somewhere between 8 and 12.
Yeah, Kiss of Death. Like, man, ooh, I like what they're playing a lot. They'll probably make finals at
6th.
least. 11th.
Yeah. We'll see. Going to drum corps show this weekend, so.
Hell yeah, we'll have to check in. We need a full report, and I want scores from you.
Yeah, we'll get the recap sheet out.
I want your scores. You give out scores.
I'll do a tape.
Madison gets 3 stars for that one, and Blue Stars. Ooh, I really like what they did. They get 65 points.
Just a completely different like ranking system.
And the Cavaliers, they get a B+. Very, very good for the first weekend, but room for improvement.
Definitely. I think it's a great way to do it. Everybody's judged on their own scale.
Everybody wins.
Exactly. That's what drum corps needs. Less competition.
Yeah. Everybody come together and sing Kumbaya.
Yeah.
For an hour and a half and then leave.
They all come together like the Avengers and do one mega drum corps show.
Mega show, yeah.
That's what they should do for finals retreat. Is bring their horns out and do a big park and blow.
Oh, dude. Did we do that in 2012?
No.
Oh, we did in 2011 when we went to Canada.
Yuck.
Yeah, we had to fucking learn this. It was like we didn't even play like a real tune. It was like America the Beautiful and Old Canada like smushed together.
Oh.
And we had this battery part that was just like, I don't want to fucking learn this. And then we had to play it with Oregon and Sun Prairie and Janesville and all the Canada bands.
Yeah.
And oh, good lord, it was
Miss
like,
me with that bullshit.
Like, you know how back in the day when we played the roll pyramids in Madison for the Badger band. Yeah, imagine that, but like times 20. Like, without a doubt, the dirtiest rolls I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
It's my favorite part about the roll pyramid, man. Get to those 8 beats of straight triplet roll.
Yeah.
Oh hell.
Okay, now imagine that, but times like 20, but with like 30 people, and they're all a bunch of high school kids.
Really good.
Most of which who can play, but
none of us have
clearly
rehearsed
not all of
together
them.
at the same time.
Yeah, and then I think it was Oregon. There would be a bunch of tryhards, and like, we're gonna put some vocals and some visuals in here. It's like, nah, fam, I don't barely even know this part because I was playing our show music because that's more important.
Man, fucking 2012, dude. Gonna find Toby and ask him for those score sheets.
Hey, can you retroactively give us like an extra 1.5 or whatever? A few tenths here and there.
My dude.
Can we appeal?
Man. I think that to this day, like, doing that show, like, I think was the epitome of, like like I had this feeling after I finished the show that was like, damn, dude, I don't think I fucked up a single thing in there. I know that like that's probably not true, like retroactively looking at it now and like seeing how much I've progressed in playing like the drums in general. But like at that point in time, it was like, holy shit, I think I played that. I think I got a Guitar Hero 100% on that. Like,
yeah, and the thing was like everybody did that. You know, it's not like that season was crazy because it was one of the shows. It wasn't finals. It was a couple shows before it or something. I don't remember where it was, but we like, man, that like opening like paradiddle thing at the beginning of the show was like, oh, I was a little fuzzy, and it's like, damn it.
yeah,
Well, there goes our perfect run, and it was weird. It was like, oh, like we hadn't had that perfect run yet, but we had been like we played everything perfect, but just not in context and
right.
in one single rep, and then boy, it sure, from what I remember, it sure felt like we did finals night, and it was like, well, good enough for second, even though you've been winning all year.
Right, like won the day before at semifinals.
Won like the previous like 5 or 6 shows.
Yeah, and then nah. Still
Whatever.
salty about it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Also, I every once in a while I think about that show and I'm like, man, like,
dude,
as a-
Phantom is playing the Carmina Burana this year.
oh yeah, that too. But just like, man, if I was watching that show and not, well, first of all, I was in that show and I didn't really get it, what was going on, and from like an overall narrative. But like, yeah, sometimes I think about watching that high cam video and it's like, man, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
It's happy, then it's sad, and at the end, it isn't anymore.
At the end, it's kind of dark, and then it's
Oh, then they play a nice major chord, and then it's fixed. I don't know. It's unapocalypsed
like what?
somehow for no reason.
Right.
And I think about that with all the shows. All 5 years I was in it. I was like, man, none of these make any goddamn sense. Just we're out here moving. Well, some of them didn't have anything to make sense of. It was just like, hey, we're out here. We're gonna play some marching band tunes for you and move around. That's it. Nothing. No depth to any of this,
Right.
which is fine. Some of them that we tried to be deep, it was like, man, boy, we like tried to be, but it does. I don't get it. I'm in it and I don't get it.
Suffered in the GE category. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I wonder, is the old Lighthouse Brigade going to be up near Appleton? I know we used to have a show in Appleton. I don't know if they still do. Oh, they updated their website. This is different than since the last time I've been on it, like 4 years ago.
Lighthouse Brigade of Racine.
Let's see. June 19th. Fort Atkinson, Milton, Sun Prairie, Fort Atkinson. Why are they going to Fort Atkinson twice? That's stupid. Traverse City, Greenfield, Racine, Whitewater. All right, well, I guess not. I guess they're not coming up my way. So, whatever.
Nice. Maybe not this year.
Who the fuck teaches here anymore?
That's what I'm looking at right now, actually.
Rex, know him.
Kyle Casey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Chris, don't know him. Michael Nielsen. I think this guy was in it. Oh yeah, he was in it for a little bit. I don't know him. Golly.
Justin Klinsman. Went to Waukesha. Was in drum corps for sure. Josh Peer. Was in Santa Clara Vanguard, I guess.
Miles Bowman. Did Cavies and Cavaliers Indoor. That's something.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so was this Chuck Willard guy.
Anna Miller's here.
Oh yeah. She's in it. Did Blue Stars, that's something.
Yeah. And Emily Farrell.
Also did Blue Stars.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Well, that's the staff Rex. My dude.
Years on staff, 29. More than everybody else combined.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the old racing band.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Yep, that's it. That's fucking Lighthouse, I guess. Well, they're going to Traverse again this year.
I think they do every year.
That's what they do every year. Oh, it's right. Now the championships are in Whitewater. That's right.
Yeah, not in. Well, I think because the Cherry Festival got moved up a week.
Okay.
But
Makes sense. Oh, the recording session. Do you remember that? We got fucking the goddamn recording stuff, and then it just got deleted or whatever.
oh, did it?
Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
It was like a whole big to do at the end of the year. We like sat and fucking recorded all of our shit, and
Yeah, we did that every year, and then
it just got zonked somewhere.
Oh.
Like
Wow, incredible.
yeah, like what? How do you just fucking delete that? But anyway,
Man, that recording session is just like completely unnecessary now. Like, like years back when we were in it, and before that, it was like, oh, that's kind of neat. But now it's like, man, all these videos you can just take with your phone are gonna be decent enough for what this is.
right? Like unless you can get some real high quality like recording of this stuff with some nice microphones, which
And quite frankly, don't really want that because a bunch of high school kids probably not that good.
right.
Probably hide behind, like, oh, the video's not as good. That's why it doesn't sound great. Like, no, some of us aren't great players.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of waiting for Lighthouse to either move up to open class here or try to make the move, or to just kind of die with MacVida.
Boy, I don't think they're gonna be able to move up to open class drum corps. Like, Oregon, for what all they're doing is great, and as much as they were in retrospect, in hindsight, very much the class of MacVida back in the day, they're not like tearing it up in open class. They're kind of middle of the pack.
But I mean, it was kind of like one of those things where you could see it coming with like Shadow Indoor, and they had this really nice program worked out for these high school students where, yeah, it was the cyclical thing we were talking about where their battery was able to stay warm through the whole year. And Lighthouse kind of has that going with this Bluetooth thing.
Well, they did.
Right.
Now that connection is kind of severed. I don't know. From the outside, it seems like it is just because none of the Bluetooth people are on staff anymore.
Right. So I guess not anymore. So you're right. Never mind. I retract what I was going to say.
It was heading that way for a little bit, and then now it's not.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yep. So
Unfortunately, I think the Lighthouse Brigade we're seeing will die eventually.
yeah, and
I think it'll die once Rex is done with it. Once Rex retires.
right. I think that's probably the fairest thing to say.
'Cause I don't see anybody who. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say there's nobody who would come out of the woodwork and take it, but there be a good replacement. But nobody on staff right now.
It's like a Mike LeCrone situation. 30 years of Rex running the show, and now, all right, here are the keys to this car that, except you don't know where anything is and how anything works, and
And also, it's not. It's kind of its own entity, kind of not affiliated with anybody.
yeah, in this fucking group that is all but dead already.
In this that's based in this city of 80,000 people, but can only get like 30 people,
Yeah, like just
and has to pull people from Moguanago and elsewhere, Oak Creek and surrounding places. Can't get people from the damn town
right.
to do it.
Like, damn, we're doing.
We'll never understand that, or we'll never be able to figure that out. How like little Oregon, Wisconsin can like double us in size.
What could have been? Anyway, I don't even want to really talk about the NFL. I'm just talking about drum band for the last couple of minutes here. The only thing I had written down was that Julio Jones, AJ Green, Amari Cooper, and Michael Thomas are all trying to get an extension. And none of them want to go first.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So
None of them want to be the fourth highest paid receiver.
right. So they're all stuck in
Playing this game of chicken.
Right, exactly. It's the GIF from The Office where they're all in the Mexican standoff.
Playing murder mystery, yeah.
Yeah, that's
When Dwight reveals to be a double agent, and Michael, get this, is also a double agent.
yeah, yeah. So this is, I mean, it's kind of interesting because obviously Julio Jones is Julio Jones, Michael Thomas is Michael Thomas, AJ Green is AJ Green, and then Amari Cooper had a sudden resurgence with the Cowboys offense after getting traded there from the Raiders. So yeah, all these dudes are looking for new deals because of what's going on kind of with their teams, with Atlanta and New Orleans really relying on those guys to be their solid number one. AJ Green, I think, is just looking for more stability because there's, with the head coach change there to Zach Taylor, and questions sort of about Andy Dalton. Like, yeah, I mean, should probably get a long-term deal if you're going to be the guy in a situation like that. Yeah. So, I don't know. Not a whole lot going on in the NFL, I don't think, though, otherwise.
Yeah, the only thing I just thought of this when you were talking about receivers, so Tyreek Hill hasn't been cut yet.
No, he in the criminal investigation, I think, was closed. So,
As much everybody, myself included, thought he was as good as gone, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think that they're still waiting for Child Protective Services to make a decision because that's separate from the actual case. Like, they're a separate entity from the law enforcement agency. So I think they're waiting to hear what they say about the situation to determine whether or not Tyreek will be suspended or they'll release him or blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Still kind of a piece of shit, but yeah. We'll see. Mecole Hardman, he's the guy to look for.
Duly noted.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
That's all I got.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in for another one. And make sure to like, subscribe, comment,
Share. Blog.
Yeah, do everything.
Favorite.
Oh, I think Sam here, he's going to be going to some of these training camps. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, he might. He may or may not. We're
training camp.
not going to make any promises, but Sam does live in Green Bay. So there could be a day where he's feeling kind of bored after work and decides to go to training camp.
Well, here's the thing. I haven't looked at the schedule, but I think, at least it was last year. I actually did look at this last year to go to just watch practice, but it was like, there was like one or two Saturday practices, and all the other ones were like at noon.
Aw, damn.
So,
all right, well,
I don't think I'm taking vacation
to go watch the Packers practice.
And then going on a Saturday is like, well, everybody's gonna go watch it on Saturday.
Right. It's gonna be crowded. But anyway,
I'll be at the preseason. We'll be at preseason games and family night.
Right. We'll have a media representative for sure at family night.
Yeah, we gotta actually I think I joked about this last year, but we gotta get actually look into what would it take to get media credentials?
I don't think it. Well, Eric tried to. I remember he talked about it, trying to get stuff for media stuff, and he had a hard time. So I think what we have to do
For who, the Packers?
Yeah, to do.
Yeah, maybe we start small.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we just gotta start asking. See
Knocking
where
on
we
some
get.
doors.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
Rattling some
pick up
crate
some
cages.
passes when we're in the loading dock. Throw on one of those brown vests.
All right, so here's the training camp schedule. Can I go to any of these? Holy shit. All right, 10:15 a.m., 10:15 a.m. A lot of 10. They're all at 10:15 a.m.
Nice. Really
So-
convenient.
So on Saturday, Sunday, sure I can. There's a lot of Sunday practice, but
Easy.
that's it. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Family night 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So only 16 practices. Well, 16 public practices. 20 real practices. I don't know. Whatever. Who gives a shit?
Yep. So anyway, we'll
We looking
keep.
forward to seeing play for the Texans.
Who am I looking forward to see play? Like at fucking the preseason game?
Yeah, preseason game 1.
Who's on their depth chart?
Deshaun Watson.
He's not gonna play though.
He might. He'll play a series.
Maybe. What game is that? The second one?
First one.
It's the first one. All right, yeah, he
Yeah.
might play then. Shit. No, I need the Our Lads depth chart. It's my one. All right, pulling it up right now. Depth chart. DeAndre Hopkins. No. Who am I looking forward to
Watt.
see? Let's see. Boop 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 boop. I think. Oh boy. Running backs here. Oh, that's who. Actually,
Blue.
no, he's not on the team anymore. I don't know how you pronounce this. Deonta Foreman.
Foreman.
Yeah, him. Him actually, because he was drafted in 2017 out of Texas, and he was supposed to be the guy to take Lamar Miller's job, but he spent pretty much the whole year on IR last year. So I'm excited to see what exactly becomes of him. I kind of just want him to be the running back because fucking Lamar Miller was playing with fire last year in DraftKings. I got him for a good game, I think. But I kind of just want him to. I just want to see him do some electric things in the preseason game and have a running back controversy.
Ah, yes.
Well, who are you excited to watch ball out?
Sorry, yeah, I'm like half paying attention. I'm reading this tweet from John Boyce.
Oh, okay.
It's a good one. It's sometimes my people ask me about my daily routine, so I thought I'd share my typical schedule. And it's just a list of things: 6 a.m. eat breakfast, 6:01 a.m. drink coffee, 6:02 walk dog, 6:02 a.m. in 9 seconds shower, 6:02 in 17 seconds day planning. 7:30 a.m. check for software updates on personal devices. Where's this one at night? 11 p.m. evening swim. Last one in's rotten egg. 11:01. 11 p.m. in 1 second teeth whitening. 5 a.m. in 10 seconds spreadsheet hygiene. In parentheses freezing rows, validating cells, etc. A bunch more, but you get it.
This guy's funny. Very, very deadpan about this humor. Anyway, all right. I think that'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you next week.